Hi everyone, I hope you're okay, and I hope that the videos we keep uploading are helping you out. On this video, guys, I'll be tackling question 1 from the mid-year examination, which was written in the province of Mpumalanga in the year of 2024. Please, guys, do expect a total number of 8 videos, since the question paper had 8 questions in total. And guys, I strongly believe that knowing how to tackle exam questions will give you an edge whenever you write your mid-year exam, preliminary exam, and most importantly, your final examination. So guys, please do share the video to your peers so that they may have the same edge as you, né? And please do help us grow the channel by just subscribing. Okay, question number 1, we are given f of x and g of x. 1.1.1, we are being asked to solve x if g of x is equal to 0. When g of x is equal to 0, that simply means I simply have x squared minus 49 is equal to 0. You can find the difference of two squares over here, or just take 49 to the other side. Let me just do that. I'll simply have x squared is equal to 49. Then find the square roots on both sides. Whenever you do so, please remember that, guys, your right hand side should always say plus or minus. Are you together? So x is basically equal to plus or minus 7. Okay, now we are supposed to solve x if f of x is greater than 0. F of x is just equal to x plus 4 and 3 minus x. This is greater than 0. So already, guys, I have my function factorized and I have 0 on the right hand side, right? The first thing I need to do is to write down my critical values. Critical values are values of x that will give me 0 whenever I substitute them on this expression over here. Are you together? I know that, excuse me, when x is negative 4, this will give me 0, and when x is equal to 3, that will give me 0. After finding my critical values, just place them on the number line in an ascending order. Are you together? I'll simply have negative 4 and 3. They are both not included, so I'm not going to include them as well. Okay, and then now I need to know which signs I'm supposed to put here, plus or minus. If both of my x values have the same sign, if their coefficients have the same sign, I'm just going to put a plus there. If they have different signs, I'm just going to put a negative. The most important sign, guys, is the one that gets in here, because after skipping, or rather after jumping a critical value, that sign has to change. If I started with a negative, I'll end up having a positive and a negative again. If I started with a positive, I'll end up having a positive and a positive again. Are you together? So now let's determine which sign should go there, a plus or a minus. Over here, I have a positive coefficient of x, and over there I have a negative coefficient of x. So the coefficient of x have different signs. That means I should place a minus over there. After finding this sign, it's very simple, because I know that will be a plus and a minus. I'm looking for something that will give me a greater than 0. Greater than 0 means positive. Where do I see positive on my number line? When x is just in between 4 and 3. So f of x will be greater than 0 if and only if x is between negative 4 and 3. Okay, and then I'm supposed to solve x if f of x is equal to 5, and I must round off to 3 decimal places. F of x is equal to x plus 4 multiplied by 3 minus x. This is equal to 5. Please, guys, do not say x plus 4 is equal to 5. Like you'll be arrested. You only do that if you have 0 on the right hand side, né? So since we don't have 0 on the right hand side, we just have to multiply out our brackets, make sure that our equation is in standard form. If it's possible to factorize, then we must factorize, but if we cannot, just use a quadratic equation, né? But please, guys, once you come across the statement that tells you to round off your answer, you don't need to stress about finding factors. Just use a quadratic equation, because the roots are basically irrational. Okay, let's just remove these brackets. I'll simply have x squared not x squared rather, 3x minus x squared plus 12 minus 4x is equal to 5. Then I have negative x squared minus x plus 12 is equal to 5. I'll take everything to the right hand side. The x squared will be positive, the x will also be positive, and then 5 minus 12 will simply give me a negative 7. That's equal to 0. There are no factors of 7. That's when I subtract will give me 1. So I'll simply use my quadratic equation. Minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Then punch your precious calculator. Negative 1 plus the square root of 1 squared minus 4ac all over 2a. This will basically give me 2.193, my first x value. The second x value, I just need to use a minus now over there. The second x value will simply be negative 3.19193 as well. So these are my two x values. Okay, and then now I'm given, I'm supposed to solve x if I'm given an equation which is in set form. Okay, for me to solve x over there, guys, I just need to remove the surds first and then remove the brackets. Make sure my equation is in standard form and then factorize and then find my roots. Okay, I simply have the square root of x plus 2 is equal to x minus 4. For me to solve here, I just need to square both sides first. What am I doing now? Let's just square both sides. I'll end up having x plus 2 is equal to, yes, you can multiply these two brackets, have x minus 4 and x minus 4, and then multiply out the brackets. You will end up having x squared minus 8x plus 16. Are you together? And then please make sure that your equation is in standard form. You'll have x squared minus 8x plus 16 is equal to 0. The number that these two I'll bring to the other side, they will change their signs. X will be negative, 2 will also be negative. I'll end up having x squared minus 9x plus 14 is equal to 0. I'm looking for the factors of 14. That's when I add, will give me 9. That's just 7 and 2. The sign over there says plus. That means the two brackets will have the same sign, but not just any sign, the sign of the middle term. So I'll have minus and minus, then x is basically equal to 7, or x is equal to 2. But this one is not applicable, only 7 is applicable. Ne? So x is just equal to 7 only. Why is this one not applicable? Because whenever you substitute it back on the equation, you will find that the right hand side will not be equal to the left hand side. Okay, and then now we have we are supposed to solve x. We simply have 2x to the power negative 5 over 3. 2x to the power negative 5 over 3 is equal to 64. I'm supposed to isolate x, guys. Ne? The first thing I need to do is to remove the coefficient I have. I can only remove the coefficient if ever I divide both sides by 2. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. I'll end up having x to the power negative 5 over 3 is equal to 32. This is x to the power negative 5 over 3. 32 can be written as 2 to the power 5. Let me write this properly. this is x to the power negative 5 over 3 is equal to 2 to the power 5. Né? I'm supposed, guys, to to isolate x. That means I must multiply both sides by the inverse of my exponent. How can I do so? This will simply be negative 3 over 5. Whatever I do on the right, I must do on the left. Negative 3 over 5 as well. Né? Whenever I multiply these two, I'll end up having x to the power 1, which is what I want to have, well. So x will basically be equal to, the 5s will just cancel one another. This is 2 to the power negative 3. That means x is equal to 1 over 8. So x is basically 1 over 8. Okay, and then now I'm supposed to solve my simultaneous equation. I'm given a simultaneous equation. I'll just write it down there in a minute. I'm still creating room. Okay, I simply have, for my first equation, negative 2y plus x is equal to negative 1. Negative 2y plus x is equal to negative 1. That's my first equation. Equation number 2, I have x squared minus 7 minus y squared is equal to negative y. X squared minus 7 minus y squared is equal to negative y. That's equation 2. Yeah, I've copied correctly. Okay, for me to solve simultaneously, guys, I must solve one variable at a time. So I can simply say from equation 1, I can therefore say x is equal to 2y minus 1. By doing this, I'm creating equation 3, right? So now I can therefore substitute equation 3 in equation 2. Whenever I come across x, I'll just substitute 2y minus 1. This will be x squared minus 7 minus y squared is equal to y. Remember that x is equal to 2y minus 1. I can just open two brackets of 2y minus 1 and then multiply them out. I'll end up having 4y squared minus 4y plus 1. Yes, I still have the minus 7 and the minus y squared is equal to negative y. 4y squared minus y squared, this is 3y squared minus 4y minus 6 is equal to negative y. Then I can bring the y to the other side. This will simply give me 3y squared minus 3y. Negative 4y plus y is just negative 3y and minus 6 over there. I can divide each and every term by 3. I'll end up having y squared minus y minus 2 is equal to 0. I can find the factors of 2. That's when I subtract will give me 1. That's basically 2 and 1. The sign over there says minus, which simply means the brackets should have different signs, but the bigger factor is the one that is going to take the sign of the middle term. The bigger factor is this one. I'll have negative and plus. Therefore, y is equal to 2 or y is equal to negative 1. After finding y, I can therefore go and find the corresponding y x values. Therefore, I'll simply say when y is equal to 2, therefore x should be equal to 2y minus 1. This will just give me 3. And then when y is equal to negative 1, therefore x is equal to 2y minus 1. This is just negative 3. I know that x will be 3 if its corresponding y value is 2, and x will be negative 3 if the corresponding y value is just negative 1. That's how, guys, we're supposed to solve that simultaneous equation. The roots are here. I have 3 and 2, and I also have negative 3 and negative 1. Okay. Determine the values of p for which the equation will have real roots. If I have something like this, 2x is equal to 1 minus 2p. Né? I know that, guys, there's no x value that will give me that will make this entire thing to be negative. So on the right hand side of my equal sign, I should have a positive number always the time. So I now know that, okay, this simply means that 1 minus 2p should be greater than 0, and hence negative 2p is greater than negative 1, then p is a number which is less than 1 over 2. Any number which is less than 1 over 2. Ne? So p is just less than 1 over 2. Okay, and then now I'm given m. I'm supposed to determine the values of p for which m will be undefined. M will be undefined if my denominator is equal to 0. Are you together? If my denominator is equal to 0, that means p plus 1 should not be equal to 0. Are you together? But if p plus 1 is equal to 0, that means this given equation of m will be undefined. So if p is equal to negative 1, this entire thing will be undefined. When p is negative 1, this will be undefined. Okay. The values of p so that m will be rational. Over here, guys, you can simply do your trial and error. Ne? Just find any value of p that will give you that will make you get an integer, or even if, guys, it's not an integer, but it's any answer which is not under the square root. Just do your trial and error. I have 9 minus 3 times p all over p plus 1. Okay, whenever I substitute 1, 1 does not work. Let's check negative 1. Negative 1 cannot work because this entire thing will be non-real. Let's check with 0 now. When p is equal to 0, we will get to 3. When p is equal to 0, we get a rational number, guys. So they just wanted 1, so p is just equal to 0. Yes, you can find the others, guys, by doing trial and error. Ne? But please make sure that whatever value of p that you substitute, this entire thing should always be anything that is not under a square root. So the first one I just got was just 0. So I'm just going with it. That's how, guys, you could have tackled that question over there. So please, guys, do stay tuned and wait for more videos. Thank you for your time. Bye. Bye, Felicia.